Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
What's going on, America? This is Christopher Moss, your host at the Energy Hour podcast. And today, what is today, Steve? August 22nd?
Yes.
The 22nd. What is with these two twos? I get plagued by twos. Do you guys get that? Are you into numerology? Am I the only crazy guy in this room? Of course.
Yes.
But I'm seeing twos everywhere. You know, even if there's like 11, 1 and 1 equal 2, right? So I'm kind of doing the numerology thing. Rob's throwing some things at me and all the above. And then I'm just saying, I'm like, holy crap, Batman. Where do these two come from, Steve? What happened?
I don't know. You better talk to Rob.
And guess my address is what? 222? Are you freaking kidding me? Right? It's just something's wrong. Either I'm going to get blown up or it's a premonition of something and maybe, I don't know, 2 heart attacks or, I don't want to say 2 girlfriends. No, I'm just kidding. No, she'll kill me. It's all good. But anyways, I am blessed here today with Steve Lazerson. He is the Opportunities of Real Estate and Finance. Steve, thank you as always, man. We appreciate you. And we've got a few people in this room that are going to be special guests today on this podcast. First and foremost, I want to introduce Brian Weisner. He's a personal friend of mine. His daughter is the cinematographer of the future. I can't wait to get her involved, man.
I know. It should be fun.
She's like crazy.
She's looking for crazy looking guys to be her next monster, and that's why she's hanging around you.
We got a few of them in. Steve's got a cape on. Nice.
Yeah, we're good.
He's practicing, right? I think it's going to be great, man. What's her name?
Angelique.
She's got an IMDb. She's on freaking, what's that, SAG?
She's got her card and all that stuff already.
How old is she?
17.
Get out of here. Come on. I got to renew my driver's license. This kid's way ahead of all of us right now, right? She's crazy. And you know what?
You can't tell by looking at her either.
No. Oh, my. But let me tell you, but when you guys wind her up, forget it.
Yeah.
She will run over all of us in a heartbeat. And she's the future. I'm really happy to be in her life, and we're going to help push a bunch of stuff her way.
Yeah.
Right?
She'll like that.
All right. Got to start a podcast with her.
She's coming in tomorrow.
Oh, yay. Oh, goodness, man. I'm really happy for her. Way to go.
Appreciate it.
Brian's in the house. Steve Lazerson, you got a couple of really cool guys next to me.
I do.
They're more handsome than me, and they're just here to have a great time, man. And tell me something about them and tell me the background, will you please?
Okay. First, we have Mark Pentac, and Mark is a real estate investor, house flipper. He's been doing this forever.
Love this guy already.
Yeah, one of my mentors.
Oh, wow.
He's got a wealth of knowledge, and he was kind enough to come on the show. He's got a very busy schedule, but we're going to find out more about him today and what he's doing right now.
Mark, love you, man. House flipping business?
You start with house flipping, and then you go to apartments. Monopoly, greenhouses, red hotel.
Oh, I love it.
Passive
Monopoly, passive income. You know what? My girlfriend always wanted to get an 8-unit thing going. We're gonna talk.
It's a great place.
Eventually, we're gonna, she'll have a Motel 6 chain. I think
you can.
She's crazy. She's like that. You know what? Why not?
It's available.
We're
in America. Everybody is coming to America. They're not going to Cambodia. They're coming to America.
I love it. Woo! See, Steve? That's why, right?
Yep.
All right. So, Steve, let us talk before we get to the next guest here really quick. And, Mark, thanks for coming in, buddy. This mask you got on.
Yes.
So, I said last podcast that you were the superhero of the finance industry. And I kid you not, we got you on a mask and a freaking cape, man.
We do.
I love it. We took some pictures. That's going to be on the website. I'll distribute them to everybody so we can all embarrass them at the same time. No, but you look good, man. What's up?
Well, I'm the lone arranger.
I love it, man. That's badass.
Yeah.
Look at you, man. You got your things on, your cape, and that's reversible.
Right.
So if you wanted to be a Superman Lone Ranger for 1 week, you can do that.
I can.
And this is your cape, so you got to take it with you.
Cool.
All right, you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
All right, cool. Tell me who this guy is here.
Yeah, this young man right here, this is Mike Ruiz, and he's with Homelight, and he is has a very interesting niche product. He is a bridge lender for people who are trying to buy another property and they haven't sold their house yet. He can help because he'll provide a bridge loan where you only have to make one payment, and it's easy qualifying and it happens really quickly. And he's going to talk about that service today. It's very interesting.
So, Mike, you put a path between the yellow brick road and what should be the yellow brick road, right? You're the bridge loan guy.
Yep, that's what we are. We actually do two things with our company, so I'll go into a little bit more depth when
I like it, man. Yeah. People need you. There's a ton of people that I know that are in this business that can use what you have available for them so they can have their dreams come true.
Yeah, definitely. The market is ever expanding for this particular program, so yeah, we're seeing a lot of increase.
What you do is you create guys like Mark. Well, you're like way beyond created. You're like, you mimic Marks, right? You give them the opportunity to become a Mark. Love that.
Bridge loans are good business.
Do you want a cape, Mark?
Private lenders.
I love it, man. You and I are going to talk, man. This is great. And Brian, I know, right? Triangulate. You see how this stuff works? And I'm going to get Steve. I'm going to bring Brian to one of those meetings. It's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Come on, Eric's ears are ringing right now. I can hear him.
There it is.
Eric, we're coming. But anyways, we're going to go to Riverside and have a blast. Okay. You're going to love what they do on the Zoom meetings and all these. There's freaking multimillionaires on these Zoom calls going, I'll give you $100,000 for this or $1 million for that. I'm just like blown away, dude. And they're making deals in the shop that day when it happens. It's crazy. Anyways, that's fantastic. Steve, you got to get yourself a plug in there. Why are you here?
Well, I'm here to promote our company that I work for, Peak Finance Company. We're a direct lender, and we do everything from conventional, FHA, VA, but our specialty is niche products like DSCR loans, where you have a rental property and you only use the rent of the property to qualify for a loan. This morning, I was signing loan docs with an 89-year-old widow.
What?
And she,
Steve, how's that even possible?
Well, I had to, we offer concierge service because she doesn't drive on the freeway. So I had to go pick her up at her house.
Did you bring a limo?
Take her to escrow.
Get out of here. What?
And then take her back home and, and also I have a lot of older clients. They don't use computers. So since a lot of the loans now are all done via computer, we have to help them with that, lend them our computers so they can, get familiar with how the process works. So it's nice because
amazing, man.
Even, almost at 90 years old, people are still doing transactions, and this we
90.
We refinanced, brought got her a better rate, and then got her some cash out that she was using to pay off another loan with a high interest rate. So it really was beneficial.
Steve, the cape fits you again. See, you're the concierge of the finance industry. See,
thank
see
you.
what I told you, everybody? This guy is just crazy cool. Wow, 90?
Yeah, almost a few months
that's
off.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you're helping her out, and she's ready to go.
Yeah,
and you're going to make her
sign
dream.
docs. We'll fund tomorrow, and she'll and she's going to Europe for 2 weeks on Friday nights. So we had to get her in signing docs today, and make sure we get this thing.
Steve
funded.
has a limo going to the airport, putting this lady on a plane to go to Europe to eat caviar and snails for 2 weeks. I love this, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Steve,
Thank
as
you.
always, right?
Appreciate that.
So, do you want to get this guy Mike involved right now?
Oh, yeah,
You know what's
definitely.
going on with this guy, Mr. Bridge Loan himself?
Yep.
You know, I'm looking at a cape for you too, man, because that smile is great. You got the right physique. You can probably be, I don't know, Aquaman. I can see you in an Aquaman outfit.
Surprising based on my body now, but I was a varsity swimmer and the
Oh,
varsity
see,
swim
Steve,
captain.
there it is. I knew it. The telepathy was there.
Yeah, and he was just out in the golf course this morning, and
He's bragging.
He's doing it all.
18 under par.
18 over.
Oh, over. I don't know. Under, over, sideways. Like Brian was saying earlier, he had started with 5 balls, but I ended up with like 11, and they weren't even my signatures. So I'm cheating, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All I know is I'm a big Fred Flintstone, and get in front of that ball, I've got one of those Diablos. The head on it looks like it's about 14 inches long. So if I can't hit the ball, I shouldn't even be on the grass, man. I got a great swing, though. I broke like 4 of them. Anyways, well, that's another story. But Mike, hey, welcome to the NGR podcast, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Steve. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
inviting
you're
me.
welcome.
Actually, I was at his office like a month ago.
Yep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Helping somebody out, of course.
Yeah, helping the loan officers, helping
like
the agents that he works
agents.
with.
Ooh.
Getting them up to speed with how the program works.
I love
offering
it.
to the clients in this particular area too. So like literally it's the area that we're
Oh, I love it, man. So give me your spiel. Tell me what's up and what you do for a living and how you help others get that loan.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe I should start a little bit before I got into the mortgage
Yeah,
industry.
for sure.
I used to
12, 15.
this
20?
was 12 years ago. I
You
was
don't have to go
selling
back to
kites.
your, selling what?
I was selling kites.
Stop it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Have you been to Seaport Village in San Diego?
Well, let me tell you one thing really quick before we get into that little 12-year thing that you were doing. I own, those big kites you fill up with air and you just let it go in the air, right?
Yeah.
My kite is 330 feet long. It's 108 feet wide, and it's 110 square meter trilobite. You ever seen the trilobites?
Oh, yeah.
I'm the guy that has that. That's me.
That is incredible.
We fly to
I'm pretty sure I've
Newport
seen
Beach.
YouTube videos of that.
You might. If you go to my website and just go / go fly a kite, it's all there, man.
That's what we would say
That's
to
crazy.
rude guests. If we couldn't say something else, we'd say,
Why
what,
don't you
go
go
fly a
fly?
kite.
I love it. So you were in the kite business?
So that's how I started, I would say, this career, this path that got me to where I am
Oh,
today.
my goodness. Something's
So I
gonna
started
happen.
kite flying. I became friends with another business owner.
2-string, 4-string?
Actually, both. So it started with just like simple, like 1-string kites
Yeah,
for
yeah,
kids.
yeah. The
and
big,
went all the
huge
way to kite
parafoil.
surfing kites.
Yeah.
Yep, to the parafoil. So
The Revolution sound familiar?
yeah. I've actually played with them. So I had to
Get
learn
outta
how to
here.
fly every single kite.
Oh, that's bitchin'.
So I've done the really lightweight one that you can fly indoors where you don't need any wind at all. So
yeah.
just the tugging motion.
Yeah.
Those are really
Get out of
very
here.
delicate. I broke like 4 of them.
And I could see you at the beach with your feet dug in,
Oh, yeah.
flying a parafoil. Am I right?
Yep. When I first learned, I was actually face first sliding across the sand, trying to learn how to fly them.
Hey, there goes Mike. Look.
But that kind of started me on this whole trajectory because at that point in my life, I was thinking, this is what I'm going to do forever, like selling kites in
Right?
San Diego. Like there's
Yeah,
no better thing
it's
that you could ask
perfect.
to do. Until I met another business owner, I would call him my mentor
Yeah.
now. His name is Kevin Olenek. And he reached out to me and he said, you can't do this forever. He goes, you got to really get your head on straight. You got to find yourself a career that you really do enjoy. And so I went back to college. I got my degree in business, specifically with a focus on entrepreneurship. And I started a special needs music education program.
Crazy cool, man.
So I took my brother's specialty, right? Because I'm the kind of person, especially in entrepreneurship, right? Of
course, yeah.
Gather all the talent and
you're here.
make something. So I made a business called Tomorrow's Tone, and it was a program that was guided by behavioral analysis. So it was a legitimate music program for children on all sides of the spectrum, for autism, for physical disabilities. And we had a great success in the
I
city
dig it.
of Placentia.
Very cool. Very, very cool,
But
man.
From there, COVID happened. COVID.
Oh, you were doing it then.
Yeah.
Get out of here. What's up with this COVID guy? He screwed a lot of things up in 2019, 20, 21. We're just like surviving the aftermath, or what they call the fallout, right?
Correct.
The COVID fallout. A lot of businesses are just recouping.
Yeah.
So you were doing this amazing thing, ready to launch the rest of the world on fire, and this freaking stupid virus comes into play.
Correct. And
Not
we were
cool.
a hands-on program, so a lot of the parents very, obviously freaked out and said, sorry, we can't do this anymore. We had to shut our doors. And this whole time I'm thinking, I still want to do good. There's stuff that I want to do. What can I do from home that's really going to help people out at the end of the day? And I started researching programs out there, and eventually I actually stumbled upon HomeLight and what they were doing there. I applied for the position. Obviously, I got the job as I'm working there now.
Right.
But what I really found there was that there's a lot of great people that genuinely care about other people getting into the specific scenario that it's going to financially benefit them the most.
I dig it.
And I've been loving it ever since. I am a senior account manager there. I primarily work with larger companies. So I work with Steve's company. I do primarily education for loan officers, teaching them how to speak about our product and get the product out there.
That's amazing, man. Did you ever think you would go from kite to loan guy?
Never.
I mean, too bad this special ed thing couldn't keep on going. But you know what? If we follow in the footsteps of this good-looking guy right here, you might be able to fill some of those buckets up, right?
Yeah.
And then do that. Don't stop.
Yeah. It's on the back burner.
Is it on your...
Yeah, it's in the back burner. This HomeLight right now is kind of funding my passion project, which is Tomorrow's Town. So
we know about that, right, Brian? Got to fund the projects, baby. Got to get them going. Okay, so that's what you're going to do in the future. Hopefully, I want to see you do that. I want to see you accomplish that, right? This is just your bridge, if you will. He's in the bridge loan business, pun intended. So keep doing that, man. And, Steve, we need guys like this.
Oh, yeah.
Where you been hiding this guy?
He's we met not that long ago, but we hit it off, and he right away helped me on a transaction, and it just was working super smooth, and it was a great program. I could see.
Unbelievable. Way to go, man. Anything else? What kind of bridge loans can you do for us?
Yeah, so I'll jump right into the program itself and do a shameless plug.
I love it. Get it done, man.
Our program's called Buy Before You Sell, is exactly as the name implies, right? Clients purchasing their next home and then turn around and selling a vacant property. So what we're trying to do is to get a 4-way win, right? We want to win for the client, we want to win for the loan officer, and we want a win for the agent. The fourth one, HomeLight.
Of course.
So we want a 4-way win here.
Everybody's got to eat at the table, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I believe in that. We talk about that all the time.
And essentially what we do is a client that owns a home, has equity in it, needs to access it, but doesn't want to do a traditional bridge loan, where a traditional bridge loan has a fee associated or has a rate associated with it, a monthly payment. Our bridge loan, we like to call it modern.
You mean like dealing with a bank?
Exactly.
Boo.
So our program actually is 0% interest, no monthly payments.
What?
For the money that we lend with them.
Huh?
Where we collect all of our fees, I would say, is at the net when they sell their departing residence. So if a client, especially like if they're only on Social Security income or they don't have a lot of income coming in, and they can't make all these payments and all their money is held in their home, our program is meant for that type of client.
So you don't have to charge them any interest, which is going to hinder some of that. And you don't have to pre-qualify them with paperwork that comes out of every orifice of their body. And then you accommodate them by getting this because you already know at the end, everything's going to work out for your customer. And you guys make your money at the end.
Yep. And at the pre-approval stage, which makes this product also unique, is we kind of live within this gray area within conventional guidelines. And what we're able to do is remove that departing resident's mortgage payment. Not only their mortgage payment, all lien payments held against that property. So when Steve's pre-approving them, only that new home is taken into consideration.
Get out. Oh, wow. Now that's cool. You are definitely a blessing to this industry. And, I got a lot of other people I'm going to talk to you about.
Perfect.
So, Steve, we're going to shovel them some work, right?
Definitely.
And you know what? I have this thing on the website called Friends of QHI. I want to get all your cards and stuff like that. and I want to stick this archive of these winners, these home run hitters, Steve.
Yeah.
They need to be debuted. And when I do my marketing, I'm going to include that as part of it. And then you guys, if you guys get some opportunity from that, what the hell, right? That's my way to thank you for doing a great job at what you're doing. That's great, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
From Kite Flyer. You still fly kites?
I do.
You better. Yeah. You better. Now that you said it. Man, I got to get you into this 110 meter. Are you local anywhere?
I'm in Pasadena.
Oh, geez. You can get on the freeway, go right to Newport, and this kite is crazy. Like I'm saying, go to mine when you get my card, go / go fly a kite. And you're not telling me off. You're just going to look at, we have a 45 square meter, which I thought, oh, this is the best of the best. So I go to my friend in China and I go, I want you to make me the biggest kite on the planet. And she goes, well, I don't think you can handle anything over 110 square meters. I go, why is that? And if you look at the pictures, there's 3 grown adults in front of this kite, and it's still sticking out about 80 feet on each side. She goes, that's why. She goes, there ain't enough anchors to hold you to the ground on a bigger one. So I got one of the biggest kites from it's a company called Weifeng. My girlfriend will correct me later. It's in China, and these people are amazing. They did a great job. You and I are going to have to go flying, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to do that with you. Wow, Steve, from Kite Flyer, we talked about twos, Kite Flyer, bridge loans. What's going on here? Oh, my goodness. So here's this gentleman over to your right, my left, and we're going to talk about him right now. So tell me something about yourself, Mark. What's going on?
Well, I grew up in Michigan being cold. And my whole life, I said, I need to get someplace warm like Southern California. And in the 80s...
Because it was cold?
It was cold in Michigan.
Cold as hell?
And when I came, I looked around, I go, a freaking house in the 80s, $250,000. Who could afford that? How could they go any higher?
Exactly.
And I could buy one in Texas for $50,000, so I ended up in Texas. And I bought
$50,000 in the 80s in Texas.
Yes, and it was $250,000
Steve.
here. And I remember...
My parents, they murdered me. They should have gave me some cash. Anyways.
I remember thinking to myself, well, once I make enough money in Texas, then I can afford to come to California.
My goodness.
But there's opportunity everywhere. The number one thing is, as Warren Buffett says, when people get greedy, get scared, and when people get scared, get greedy.
I love that.
Opportunity is coming in the market cycle here. A lot of people for a long time said real estate in California only goes up and up and up and up. But there's always a cycle.
No.
So part of the reason I'm here is because I study the stats. In Bakersfield, I got a guy trained. He's doing door knocking, 10 pre-foreclosures a day.
Get out of here.
$30,000 to $50,000 a month.
Just doing door knocking.
And he's a realtor. And he's an investor, and they wholesale property to other investors. Riverside, the numbers are coming way up too on foreclosures. So I'm looking at certain markets because one of the opportunities that not everybody. So financial literacy, financial education is one of the most important
is everything,
things.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend learning both from Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the bestseller Rich Dad Poor Dad, but also Dave Ramsey. And there's people that hate Dave Ramsey. You know how they are. They're haters out there. But you can learn from everyone.
Hey, forget all those guys. I'm just calling your ass.
The most important thing is you need lenders.
Yeah, you do.
Like Steve before you need them.
Before you need
the number one thing I'd say, Steve, he's not just a normal lender. One thing I love about him is he's a problem solver. And more than
I
ever,
can agree
going
with
into
that.
the future, there will be bigger problems, and the people who focus on developing the skills and become more valuable to the marketplace, they will be most highly compensated. Everything's changing. We all have to learn to embrace change. And instead of fearing change, embrace it. AI is going to change everything. A lot of people are afraid of not having a job. Instead of being afraid of not having a job, create your own business, create multiple businesses, create multiple streams of passive income. So not only be an investor, but be a business owner and always associate with people going to a higher level. The most important thing is all of life, it's about relationships. And it's about your number one thing is build your network of relationships and use technology to leverage. Instead of fearing technology, learn how to study social media, how to build relationships. But it's about what Steve was saying earlier, serve. We're here to find people who have problems and help them in unique ways. And that's what Steve does.
Solver. Where you been all my life?
I've been out here doing deals, making money, having a good time.
That's great. So was I right to say this? Now, I make premonitions, right? Of course, I talk about twos all the time because it scares me, or maybe it's the right thing to do, right? But I've always said that the California market is about to shake.
Not completely. I mean, just San Diego, where I was spending most of my time lately, the first quarter of this year, even with the higher rates, it went up 11% in the first quarter. If you just bought a house for $1 million in San Diego and you didn't do anything, it went up $100,000. You made $100,000 in the first 90 days of this year just buying a house retail.
Just buying a retail house.
We buy distressed. We buy below market. And so those numbers are coming up, and people say, well, it's still small compared to the 2008 meltdown. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're a big company doing 100 a year, but I'm saying anybody listening here, and whether you're listening right now or in the future, the number one thing is you need to reach out to people like us right here. So make sure you get Steve's number, buy a number, because I help people to become financially free. And there's a lot of people, there's 10,000 people a day right now, the baby boomers turning 65. All those people turning 65, most do not have their retirement set up. Most do not have their health care set up. Most have a lot of problems. That huge 70 million of all these people in America, like Southern California, it's very expensive to have around the care all the time. So all these problems that are coming up are going to create opportunities for entrepreneurs who are all about serving the largest number of people. The more people you serve, the more money you make. That's what it's all about in America.
Maybe I should get into the adult diaper business too.
That's a niche opportunity right there. It's going to be huge.
I need a couple every once in a while. But anyways, I got Steve's number tattooed on my arm. What are you talking about? It's not just werewolves and stuff. It's Steve right there.
I'm saying the people listening, they need to know his number and call him before they think they need him. They need to start relationships, and realtors too. Because whether you're a realtor or a homeowner or investor, whatever, Steve, I've dealt with lots of lenders over the years. Steve is unique. Steve is special. As we can see by his outfit right here, he's the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, Steve-O. Hey, tell me something. The door knocking is obviously working for you.
Oh, absolutely. Always.
Right?
Does.
So you go to the NOD or distressed areas and stuff like that, and you probably pick them out per city, right?
Yes, and what I do is I actually speak and educate. Education is so important, and there's a lot of people out there that are thinking, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the credit, I don't have the time. Whatever you don't have, somebody else has it. So that's why you got to be thinking everything is about building your network of relationships.
That's true.
So you can leverage other people's money. People said to me, well, don't you run out of money or credit? There's other people who've got money and credit. We do real estate syndications now because when you're buying 100 million, 100-unit apartment complex, you're going to run out of money.
Oh, yeah. Easy, quick.
So you got to get educated about how to raise money. You got to get educated about multiple sources of money. So we do money from people like Steve, as well as, there's more places to get money than you can imagine. And you got to be always ready to have a backup plan in case one thing doesn't work. Have another way of getting money. But the good deals, the key is finding the good deals because there's always money for the right deal. Even if you have to say, listen, I'll go 50-50. I'll partner up. You got somebody who's got a lot of money. They put up all the money. You do all the work. So there's always a way. Matter of fact, one of my favorite videos I send out, there's a 14-year-old girl. She was on Ellen.
I love it.
And she bought a house at age 14.
Stop it.
And like, how do you do that? Well, this is back in the meltdown 2008.
Oh, how beautiful.
There was a short sale, and they were asking about 20 maybe. She bought it for like 14, 16,000, something like that. And so she had saved at $6,000. And I tell people getting started, I had a 14-year-old boy in my class in Dallas, and in 90 days, he did his first deal, made $14,000 in 90 days. And I had him on my radio show in Dallas. And I was saying to him and to the listening audience, I got people in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s saying, oh, I can't do real estate. I don't have this. I don't have. You got to focus. Is the glass half full or half empty? It's both. Where are you going to put your focus?
That's true.
And people get scared. They go, well, I don't know about the election or the government or this or interest rates. There's all these things that keep people stuck. The most important thing, it starts with yourself. It starts in the mirror. And can you look in the mirror and make a decision to get better? I totally
agree with that because you know what? Fear, with people that don't know how to utilize fear is actually the best motivator on the planet. I think it's the best thing I put in my coffee every day. I mean, who knows? I can go outside and, I used to have a Tesla until it took a crap. But anyways, that's another story. But I used to go out and charge, and there'll be a lot of fear with people wanting to go EV. There'll be a lot of fear with not knowing about interest rates or the housing market. And the new entrepreneur says, well, I got to have $1 million before I can get into this business. What they need is value in your network. Your network is more valuable than any amount of money you can ever put into anything. As long as your network is solid, you got a great plan. Remember, OPM, OPB, OPE, and OPT. Other people's money, brains, experience, and most important, we don't have what? A whole bunch of what? Time. Time is the killer. Time is our worst adversary. You know, I'm going to live to be 120. But, you know, I got 60 years left. But what I'm saying is a lot of people, and I try to educate people. Brian, we're going to have to get your daughter involved. She's 17, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to have to get her involved. Do you have any kids yet?
I do not.
Okay, make a couple of kids. We'll get them involved. Come on, let's get that done. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just really, really needs to be taught. I wish they taught me my entrepreneurial spirit and Steve and what you're doing and Mike and Mark and Brian at age 12. How about 10? I would have took a class.
I started at 9. I had my
Get
first
outta
little
here.
lemonade stand. And
I
was
love it.
Doing all the stuff because, again, I said to my dad, I
Network
want to make some money.
marketing.
He said,
You did
there's
it.
a broom, there's a shovel, there's a rake. Go to work, you'll make
Go
money.
to work, right?
Go to work.
I love it, man. So you and I are going to get together. We're going to talk
Right.
about these multi-unit complexes, and I want to maybe share a couple of stories with you later when we
That
get a
would be
chance.
fantastic.
So, you know, we're cash heavy. We got a lot of opportunity. Currently, we're doing auctions, and I think auctions are okay. They're not the end all, but I like your door knocking thing.
Well, and one of the reasons
That's
I do
cool.
door knocking is because I want to get there before they get to the auction. And one of the
course,
keys is
the
in the
pre-foreclosure.
pre-foreclosure, there's a unique strategy called subject to, where you can take over the existing loan. And I say to people all the time, how much money would you like to borrow at 3 to 4%? And they say, well, that
All of it.
That window's closed.
Yeah,
Well, there's people
right?
out there. Most people, if you ask them,
Yeah.
they say, I can't afford to move because my new loan's going to be 6 or higher. I'm locked in at this 2 or
Yeah.
3. I had a 20-year-old kid that I helped. Didn't even go there.
Yeah.
In Minneapolis, I helped him get a 0 down USDA loan when he
A
during
20-year-old
COVID.
kid.
20 years old, a $250,000 house when all the realtors were saying there's no inventory, people are afraid of COVID. This is in 2020. He bought the house for $220,000. I helped him use free Facebook ads, and through positioning
Get outta
with a free
here.
Facebook ad, I helped him buy the house. He's a carpenter, so he could do minor repairs, and we strategically placed an ad. And I teach people how to do this kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And then when they say, but Mark, I don't have the money or I don't have the experience, no problem. Bring it to me and I'll pay you for bringing me the deal. So I'm constantly educating people out there about how they can do better, and then we both do better.
And you always got something in the hopper.
And he got a 2.65
Get
rate,
outta
30
here.
years fixed,
What?
USDA 0 down loan.
Oh, my God.
And he then moved into the basement. They have basements over there.
And rented it
with
out?
his wife. And upstairs, the
I
first
love
floor,
this
rented
kid.
out for $1,200 a month. His payment's $1,350 a month. And he and his wife were living there, and they actually then moved out and had a positive cash flow for a 0 down.
20-year-old kid
20 years old kid.
who actually took advantage of this situation.
I'm constantly helping people anywhere I can.
I love it, man. Well, God bless you.
Yeah.
Right? You're the guy everybody's looking for.
Well, it's fun. The biggest thing is if you're not making a difference in other people's lives and you're not serving and you're not helping, then
Gotta have
what's
fun,
it all
though,
about?
right?
Well, have fun.
It's all part of it.
Have fun and make a lot of money and then free up your time. Because people say they don't
Wow.
have time. They don't have time because they have a job. I've had people ask me, well, don't you have a job? I don't want a job.
You know what a job is, right? You know what it stands
Just
for?
over broke.
I see. I told you, Steve. This is the guy. Here he is. You got to get a cape. You're getting a cape, and this guy's getting a cape next week. Brian,
I want a helmet.
I love this. Mark, crazy times, right? And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm going to be, 40 next week.
40.
No, I'm just kidding. I can't
I
tell a
thought
lie.
39 at least.
Yeah, 39 at least. I'm going to be 63. I feel like I'm 15 inside, and I'm on fire. This guy, Steve, every time he comes into this room, just completely melts my floor. he just brings in some great talent, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've just put into my brain. And thanks, I won't be able to sleep for a month now. We're going to talk about some future things, and we have a lot of opportunity. I'm probably just going to, we can partner on some stuff too.
Absolutely. That's
Why
what
the hell
we do.
not?
Joint ventures.
Right? JVs are great.
And for those out there that think it's too late, I'm going to make more money after age 65. Like the person you just talked about, the lady 89.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be like her when I grow up.
I love it.
And
you're going to be filling those buckets up, those IRAs, right?
Well, because
keeping your cash flow and getting paid Social
tax-free.
Security, baby.
And you can make all this money tax-free and compound it and leverage.
Tax-free.
It's unbelievable what's possible
Right?
when you get the right education.
I love it, man. Thank you, Mark. You're the
Thank
best,
you.
man. Steve,
Yes, sir.
what's going on with you, man?
Oh,
Where do you
man.
find these guys? Of course, you got to tell us.
You
Where are
know
you finding
what?
them?
It's
It's all about networking,
It's
am I
about
right?
The networking.
The networking.
We're in a lot of different groups. I have a fiduciary group, investment club group. I mean, just so many different groups, and you meet these great people, and you talk, and sometimes you don't have the answer, but they will have the answer. And if they don't, they know somebody that does.
That's the beauty of networking, right? I can't
So-
tie my shoes all the time, but I look over and she's tying them. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's all about networking.
And this lady, that I was working with this morning, she came from Mexico. She started working in a factory at 11 years old over
Wow.
here. Didn't speak any English, didn't, know anybody. She came here and, she got married, and then she decided, I want to be in real estate, okay? And here's a Hispanic woman in the 50s that became
That's amazing.
a real estate broker when
What?
nobody would hire her because the discrimination against Hispanic females. They would all tell her that, no, you have to go home and take care of your husband and your kids and cook and clean. And she says, no.
Oh, hell no.
I'm going to be the breadwinner in the house.
I dig it, man.
And she went to all these different real estate offices. Nobody would hire her. Finally, somebody says, okay, I'll give you a chance. And her first office was a broom closet in this building, and
Unbelievable.
2 years, she was the highest grossing agent in the office, and then she opened up her own place, and she was doing subject twos and all these things that we talk about now. She was doing it back in the 50s and the 60s.
That's unbelievable,
and I,
man.
I met her in the 70s, but she had already went off the charts
blew up,
by then.
yeah.
And she was flipping properties, buying hold. I mean, all the things that we're trying to accomplish now, she was doing it back then, but properties were so cheap. She was buying properties for literally nothing.
Excuse me, Steve. You can take the mask off now.
No, I like the mask. I
He
really
loves
do.
the mask. See, he's playing the part. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm just like, oh, that was horrible of me. Have you put on the damn mask, right? That's just crazy, man.
She told me stories about she got in doing commercial real estate. She back in the 60s, she was making $25,000 commissions selling gas stations, or sites to the oil companies. Back in the 60s, that was a huge commission.
What
back
a risk and reward, right?
Yeah, and now, I mean, she owns so many properties. She's got an 8-figure net worth, and she's so humble. She still doesn't, she doesn't use a computer. And
what?
Yeah, she barely got a smartphone, but she doesn't use email at all.
We need this girl in our network, Mark.
Because she's smarter than the phone.
Yeah, but she's wheeling it dealing at
Unbelievable.
almost 90 when people are want somebody to bring a bedpan to them, and she's out there, and she never stops, and it's like
God bless a person like that.
Yeah,
that's called tenacity.
Yeah.
That's dedication. That's integrity. That's all the things we talk about all the time. And you know what? I hate to say it, but I don't know many people with that amount of energy to do it at her age.
Yeah. And
Tell
it's
me.
like, I look at her and say, you know what? I was born here.
And she probably has original teeth.
Yeah. And I have the opportunity, and look at what she's done without, really a formal education, came over here, couldn't speak English with absolutely nothing. And she's done so much. And I think, wow, I see people like that, and I have no excuses. If I can't,
exactly.
If these people can do so much great things, and then she's so generous, she's always helping people. I see it all the time.
What do they call that, Mark? Paying it forward or something like that? And she's
part of the
the
deal.
universe opens up, right? The universe, right? Philanthropist. I was thinking of the universe, Brian.
The universe.
She's a philanthropist.
That's a big area.
That's a big. And no aliens coming down, are there? But that's fantastic, man. Steve, what a great story.
Yeah,
She's crazy. Can you get her in here? Where's she at?
She lives in Whittier.
She's in Whittier, but now she's in Europe because of you.
Well, she's
out hanging out with, what's that? Fanucci, Paolo Fanucci. That's great, man. What a great story. Do you think you can get her in here one day?
Maybe I have.
I'll put red carpets from the bottom of the thing all the way up here.
She doesn't like tattoos.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you'll have to cover up your.
I'm screwed. You got a tattoo, Mike?
Do.
Where? No, you don't. You have to show me. I'm just kidding.
I'll show you. No, I got mainly on my legs.
Is it like Aquaman? You kind of got the gills going and you're going up in the neck? Hence the guy that
I'll
used
keep
to
him
swim.
just on the ribs. I'll keep him on the ribs.
Little Mermaid gone wild. I love it. I love it, man. Well, man, Mark, you're an animal. I'm going to have to think of something for this guy. Because once we start talking and networking a little bit more, we're going to collaborate. And when you talked about that extra marketing stuff, I got some stuff that I want to introduce to all you guys that I'm getting involved in right now that takes a lot of these. I don't know. Have you ever heard of them? They're called funnel pages. A funnel, you've heard of it, right, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
It takes the funnel page you're talking about. I can link SMS messaging, phone calls. I can do all your social media, Google ads.
Automation.
All on this. Talk about AI, right? Mm-hmm. I've got the golden key.
Well, that's the key, is that you can reach more people more efficiently, more effectively.
Listen, I've got the golden key. And I'm going to share that with you guys. Because what's going to happen is we're going to get bigger, healthier, wealthier. And Brian, I'm definitely going to buy you a kite.
Okay.
You're getting a kite, man.
All right.
And we're going to put that little producer to work. We're going to have her. Paramount ain't got nothing on her.
Nope.
Trust me. We're taking her to the top. I hope her ears are ringing, right? So, Steve, what a great story, man. So get ready for the marketing stuff. All right. So let's talk to Brian really quick.
I'm overwhelmed.
First and foremost, right? When Steve brings in these, I don't know. I got to think of a good acronym for you guys. You guys are like, I don't know. I don't want to say animals, but you represent, eating red meat, and you just go right to the bone. You don't care about anything else, but you're good at what you do, right? I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe we're superheroes.
Lone Arranger.
Lone Arranger.
So, Brian, tell me what your specialty is. And I already know.
You already know, yeah.
But I want everybody else to hear what you got going on.
Well, I've been in the mortgage business for 26 years, but I'm 65 now.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Stop.
I'm 66 in December. So
get out of here.
So along Steve's, no, not Steve. I'm looking over here. Mark's.
That's Mark. Yep.
Mark. The stat, I think, is closer to 11,000 people a day are turning 65 now.
11,000.
11,000 a day. So we're splitting hairs, right? 10 to 11 doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
Getting a lot older people.
It's an unbelievable curve. And when I did my first reverse mortgage when I was 40 for a neighbor who was neighbors, they'd outlived their pension. They were running out of money.
That's tough.
Their medication was going from $200 because of their health challenges up to almost $800 a month.
I don't get that.
And they couldn't afford it. Anyway, I did my first reverse mortgage for them so they could stay in the house, got rid of their payments, got them some money, and then I bought a property that they had up in Paradise. Win-win. Told them they could vacation there as long as they wanted till they couldn't do it anymore.
Very cool.
Well, then I tried to do my second reverse mortgage, and I remember going into the house, and this woman was 80-something, and we go to the kitchen, and the cat is there, and the litter box is right next to the kitchen table.
Oh, no.
And I just felt like this isn't my groove right now.
Yeah.
But that's when I was 40.
Okay.
Now that I'm 65, almost 66, all these people that are 80 are my friends.
Yeah. I love it.
So for many years now, I've been really specializing in reverse mortgages because people are running out of money. They're not prepared. It's not their fault necessarily.
No, that's true. Society's killing it.
Their income has changed, or their spouse is gone.
Yeah.
And the breadwinner's gone. And the Social Security, they used to get 2 Social Security checks.
Yeah.
Now they get a little bump on one of them, but it's still not both.
A smidge.
So enabling people to age in place safely, comfortably, without financial burdens is what I do. And
I dig that.
And sometimes it's just a matter of they don't want to leave the house. They lived there for 40 years. They grew.
Who wants to leave? Right.
Their kids grew up there.
Yeah.
The husband is gone, and mom can't take care of the house anymore, but she won't leave. So I get a lot of my referrals from the adult children who say, you know what? Mom won't leave, but we can't afford $10,000 a month anymore for the in-home care so mom can stay there.
In-home care is that much?
$10,000 to $12,000 a month,
Get
depending
outta
on the level
here.
of care. So if you scrimp and get away with $4,000 to $5,000, mom's not getting what she needs.
No, that's true.
So I try to explain. People think it's some kind of weird math and strange program. That demographic I learned from my mom and how frugal the baby boomer generation's parents were.
Sure.
And the upper end, the
Right.
90-year-olds.
Yep.
Pay off your house. Because back in the day, a bank could call your note whenever they felt like it.
I know. That's crazy.
They could just
it
say-
actually says that in the contract.
Yeah. So when they were building houses way back then, they could say, you know what? We want the $25,000 we lent you 3 years ago. Pay us tomorrow. Well, their mentality was you got to pay your house off. So you're not going to get the house taken out from underneath you.
Smart back then.
Smart back then.
Yeah.
But now if you owned your house for 30 years and you bought it for 150 and it's worth $800,000 and you're all happy that you don't have a mortgage payment anymore, but that equity is just vapor.
Yeah, I just gave one away in a divorce. I know all about vapor. But anyways,
it's just vapor. So when I'm talking to a client that's 80, 90 years old,
Yep.
they don't want to have the bank on their house or whatever their hesitation is. I go like this. I say, you bought real estate stock 30 years ago.
Yeah, I like that.
And you invested in that stock every single month when you made your payment. And that stock continued to grow. And now you've got a boatload of shares. You've got 800,000 shares of stock.
I love that analogy.
But what do you do when you have a stock portfolio and you need some money? You cash some of it in, not all of it. we have formulas and strategies and whatever else.
Oh, yeah, I
we
can
do.
imagine.
So I explained to my client, we're not trying to sell your whole portfolio. We're just going to cash in some of your shares, stay in your house as long as you want, as long as you can. And at the end of the road, you still got stock in your house.
So they can distribute that to maybe a sibling after the fact?
Well, when they can't live in the house anymore,
Yeah.
they've got to pay off the loan.
Sure.
But either the estate pays it off, or you can pay it off with cash.
Yep.
The estate can buy the house
Yep.
and refi it if it's in a trust, and just get rid of the loan.
Or,
And
or you can call Mark and I, and we'll figure it out. Right, Steve?
Yeah.
plenty of
Got
options.
Mike giving us a bridge loan. Here we go, baby.
So what I do is I help, and you don't say elderly.
No,
you
it's
don't
not
say
the E word, right.
Yeah. Feeble, none of those words.
Right.
And they're technically just like me. They're just my demographic. They're baby boomers that want to stay in their house as long as they can, and they want to cash in a little bit of their real estate stock. And we have growth programs, money that they don't need or want. It goes into an equity line that grows.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
Right now it's 7.5%.
Oh, yeah. It's better than zero.
Better than zero, and
Yep.
better than a lot of financial planners.
And eventually
will get
you can get like Steve's client that just turned 90 and end up in France or whatever, right?
Yeah.
She's doing it right, man. I don't know about you, Steve. Are you going with her by chance?
No.
You're not? Steve.
Unfortunately not. No.
Unfortunately not. Wow, man. Brian, talk about savior. I think we got to get you like white wings or something. Doesn't that,
helmet.
Mike, right? Oh, a little halo.
Helmet with the halo.
Oh, I can see now we got a bunch of, we all look like clowns in a room talking about stuff. We got the superhero, the Halo, Aquaman, and we got you're like Thor, Mark. You remind me of Thor. Mark just goes, screw it, man. I'm just getting it done. Bang! Right here he is. Thor's in the house. We got a great group of superheroes in this room. And Steve, I can't thank you enough for inviting them.
Oh,
Mark,
you're welcome.
Congratulations, man. And you and I are going to talk. Before we leave, I got to give you like 4 cards. They all got my number on it. But, there's some strategies that I want to, kind of implement with you. And just give me your opinions of what you think.
Right.
And other JV opportunities and things like that. We can go pre-cash on everything, which is kind of cool. And again, our little story was, we just didn't start. I mean, there's some great things that you and I are going to talk about. Talking about having nothing in the beginning, but a bunch of hope. And then you strategize, and then you network and you learn. Pretty soon you're doing it, right? And then now we've done a bunch, so we know what the end result is. And, in 2021, when this stupid governor, and I'm going to say his name, Gavin Newsom, right? This guy hammered me on a deal that we did, and I didn't know that if you're at an auction, thanks, Mr. Newsom, and whatever you bid, and even though the auctioneer says, bing, to the guy in the left corner with the rubber leg, that was me, right? I won that in 14 days, if I didn't shove them over an affidavit to occupy, that somebody else can bid on my house, and I lost the house for $5,000. Is that stupid? So an auctioneer can actually have a live auction. They can see all the bids go in. And you know what? Everybody's watching my stuff that's logged in, right? Oh, I'm so happy. I got it for $650,000. Well, first and foremost, not everybody has $650,000, but we did, right? And then all of a sudden, I got, we call the trustee a week later. Hey, when you going to mail that deed to us? Come on, we'll even send you a FedEx tag. Mm-hmm. They go, oh, it's you. I go, what do you mean? Yeah, there's 4 other bidders on your property. I go, what? Oh, you guys didn't turn in the affidavit to occupy. Gavin Newsom and this witch, some Nancy bozo, put this together, this senator, whatever the hell she is, and they screwed us in 2021. That's when it started, and they said it's going to keep going until 2026 in hopes that they don't extend it to 2030. and they may have a lifetime extension. So if you're an investor in the future in California, hint, hint, and you want to buy a property out here, they may say in the future that that property is under investment status and you have to remain with the property for 30 years. So you can't sell it. Bullshit, right? So I'm sorry, I got a little excited. Too much coffee, I guess.
There are some niche opportunities related to that too. That's why I'm here. I heard a guy speak in Vegas, and there's nonprofits that can buy when a hedge fund
I know.
comes in.
What's up with that? These nonprofits. Oh, if we put somebody in there that's a Section 8, whatever, they can get the property. So I studied the 5 rules, right? Mm-hmm. I know them better than myself today. Of course, I'm not making those mistakes anymore. And it's an implied staying in the house. So I'm doing the same thing you have to learn, right?
If you can't beat them, join them. So
I got taken, it was a bigger hammer than you, Thor. Mm-hmm. And these clowns slammed me, and that's the house we saw, Rancho Cucamonga, Brian. Uh-huh. And they literally stripped it out of my fingers, and they held my money for 45 days. Mm. It was the first 14 days because we got to give everybody ample opportunity to bid on the house. They got to put in the quiet blind bid, they call it. Oh, and in 30 days, we'll let you know. So my money, $650,000, is hanging out in somebody else's bank account. They cash the check. I mean, I'd like to get interest on that, maybe, right? So anyways, and then at the end they go, oh, it's you. Like, fudge you, man. So I learned the lesson, and we don't make that mistake anymore. But talking about having to learn, and Mr. Newsom, who I hope gets hit by a train.
You can't say that.
Yeah, I can. It's my podcast. Screw that guy. It's a perceived train. It's not a physical train. What do they call that? A virtual train?
It's recommended that people don't take a joke very well these days. You might have to clarify your intent that I'm just joking and I didn't actually mean that I was going to get hold of the train.
You're the radio guy, so I was just joking. I don't really mean it, even though he fulfilled anyways. I have different thoughts for this guy than normal, right? So anyways, this guy hammered us with this Nancy Fuzzbuzzy, whatever her name was, and we got hosed. So we don't do that anymore. So we've learned the lesson. And of course you knew about this when it started.
Well, as an entrepreneur, a lot of that's targeted to the bigger hedge fund and
which has
BlackRock
nothing to do with us.
No, that's true.
Which
However,
sucks.
You're still perceived as being the evil investor.
I was an evil investor.
When you create a nonprofit,
right.
Which any of us can. Have you heard that Bill Clinton and Hillary have a Clinton Foundation?
Of course, yeah.
And you heard that Bill Gates and all them got the foundation. Guess what? Any of us can have a foundation. And we could benefit. So if you
are we going to create one? Is that what I'm hearing?
You can pay the officers.
We'll talk offline. If you can't beat them, join them.
Join
so part
them.
of the reason
I
I'm
love
here
this.
is because my nonprofit for widows and orphans can come in. And
do you have that?
Right out. Well, we'll save that for another time off of the air.
That way you don't have to sign that
Mike, there it is.
of occupancy.
Oh boy, you guys just made my day. I love you guys.
The problems are opportunities.
Problems are opportunities.
And so when you're getting hammered, somebody else is benefiting. That happened to me back in the 80s when I first got started in Texas. And I thought, I bought this property for $60,000 and this guy's buying it at the courthouse steps for $6,000.
$6,000, right. How's that possible?
I bought the wrong place. I need to learn to be that guy.
So to make a long story short, I sent him a bag of anthrax. No, I'm just kidding. and that house I set on fire 2 weeks ago. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a jokester. You know me, right,
I know.
Brian?
It's tattooed all over you.
Those were my mental intentions, and I had to look in the mirror and say, stop. Chew my tongue. You see it? Yeah, anyways. We're going to talk, Mark.
My favorite is the way you get even is massive success. Lots of money, being able to get access with your buddies on the jets and the yachts and go to Europe.
Well, I was a police officer in the city of San Gabriel, so I immediately looked for my nightstick and my gun. I wanted to go out to this house so bad and just say, hey, man, what do you think you're doing, right? So I framed my Letterman jacket and my police stuff up there I'm part of the collection now. But anyways, I've retired and, doing all these cool things. And, I had some interesting thoughts, if you will. And so I've calmed down.
Really?
So Steve, you got to recommend that therapist to me. I got to do that. But anyways, it's good. But having you to clarify, to put the other things in perspective, Mark, that's going to make all the difference. You and I are going to be best friends.
That experience can lead to you making multiple times the amount that you lost or perceived as losing, because every negative has a positive opportunity when you can flip it around and see.
Attitude is altitude, right?
It's taking attitude even a whole nother level to perspective. So many people get stuck in life and they have their story about, well, I had a divorce or I had the IRS or whatever their story is. And then 2008 happened. I was a multimillionaire. 2008 happened and I lost everything and it was game over. I fell off the horse. I never got back on again. You got to be willing to get back on the horse, but this time be smarter, be better, be faster, be stronger. And that's the key. Life is going to give you, boom, and you got to be ready to come back stronger. That's the thing. That's the lesson for all of us.
I love it, man. Wisdom,
get better.
Right? Get better. Steve.
Yes, sir.
Anyways, thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. So we're going to close now, and I'm firstly going to thank you, Steve, for all the stuff that you do. You have brought some amazing people to the podcast, and you're with Peak Financial Solutions. You've got all the the financing. Again, you're wearing the cape. That's a pure sign of who you are. You are the Lone Ranger?
Loan Arranger.
Loan Arranger. Got to get that name. I think there's a .com available. I got to get that for you. We'll make a website. Put your little cape and everything there. Steve, this is great stuff, man. Mark, thank you so much. You just brought a lot of light to my eyes.
Quick question. Am I allowed to give out my phone number just in case?
You know what? They are, Steve, right? We're part of this network. Yeah. And by the way, I have sold my 45. So you don't have to worry about that anymore, right? So I'm not a cop anymore. Oh, I will handcuff you and duct tape you somewhere, but I won't do anything else.
He's kidding.
No, and I have this really cool.
Scare him away.
I have this really cool cellophane thing, and I always tell buddies that I have a contractor in Vegas. He'll just vertically do something for me real quick, and we'll see you out there.
Have you seen that show on Netflix, Dexter?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. Anyways. Mark, I want to hear what you're all about. Tell me your telephone numbers, your email addresses. I want the world to know who you are. But you can't use everybody. You got to come and give me a little sliver, right? You can't use 100% of your time.
Sometimes even down the road, somebody might hear this recording somehow, somewhere, and they say, how do I get hold of that guy?
It's on the internet.
So my phone number, you can text me at, is 832-766-6997. That's 832-766-6997. And my email, to make it easy to remember, is mentor, M-E-N-T-O-R, Mark, M-E-R-K, Pentac, P-A-N-T-A-K. Mentor Mark Pentac at gmail.com.
Get out of here.
People email me.
My God, of
call
course.
me, text me, and we make each other money.
Are you in the state of California right now?
Well, at the moment,
I know you own every house in every state, but
Well, soon I will be somewhere, anywhere. It's like, where's Waldo? It'll be
you're going to be virtually.
Where's Marco Polo? I am a virtual
Marco
investor.
Polo, I love that.
Where's Marco Polo? Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Yeah, making money.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Fun.
I wanted to go to like Morocco and maybe buy something.
We can go.
Day, right?
I know how to get a good deal on
Really?
tickets. Absolutely.
Stop it.
I'm serious.
We can see the races that are out there through F1.
There's all kind of cool things going on all over the world.
We're going to take Mike's super, what do they call that? The super, the boat. What do they call those? Yachts? They have a new name, Mark. Mike's super yachts. And we're going to take yours, okay?
It's like one of those 10-story yachts.
Yeah, they're freaking nuts.
Yeah, one of the unsinkable ones.
The unsinkable ones. Yeah. That's right. So, Mark, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I really, really appreciate you, man. Brought a lot of knowledge to the table, and it's not over yet, pal. Until I'm 120, you and I are going to be best friends. All right?
I'm going for 122.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Look forward to it.
Mike, Aquaman. The kite flyer, the bridge loan king. Got to get him a uniform,
like that.
Steve. Right?
Yeah.
The bridge loan king. I can see you wearing like a cockeyed, crown. right? You got the look, man. He's got the cool glasses on. This guy's ready. You kidding me? Anyways, thank you. I want you to tell people how to get a hold of you if they need these bridge loans. You know, you've learned a lot. Hey, you know, you got to be a good guy. You flew kites for a living, and then you went up there and did other stuff. You helped these needy people that needed your help. And again, I'm going to plant that seed. Don't stop. Fill up one of these buckets that Mark's telling you to do. He's here for a reason. Do you see the universe kind of floating in here now? We're not talking about twos. We're talking about Mark right now, okay? But seriously, you got to take one of these. What are they, Roth IRA you talked about? The Roth
401k.
401k, dude. 68,000 buckets per bucket?
Per person.
Per person.
So the family could even
per
do
year.
more. Per year. Every year.
Oh, shut up. So me, my dog.
And
I love it.
And it could be up to 100% of your income if you have other sources of income. There's all kind of tips and tricks you can do legally. Always make sure you do everything legally and make sure you have the proper legal and accounting advice, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet that's like, oh, I have this opinion.
These little scumbags.
So
that,
just make sure
click
you
here
have,
and you got a virus.
Do it right.
So stupid. But Mike, tell me how to get a hold of you, man. How do people? You have a website? Do you have an email, phone number?
Our website is pretty straightforward, homelight.com. And that's light like a light switch, so homelight.com.
Is it Lite or Lighth?
Ligh.
Okay, you know, some people are different. I'm just saying, man.
And my email is Michael, Michael .Ruiz, Ruiz, at homelight.com. My personal line is 626-768-9450.
God bless you, man. Keep up the good work, huh?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I will be reaching out to you. I'm new to investing
Here
right
they
now.
go.
I have a lot of buckets that I need to fill, so I'll definitely be reaching out.
I mean, you're young. Get it done, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotta
And
do it early.
this guy over here, Brian. God bless you, man. You got a daughter that's
I got two daughters.
So you do? What's the other one do?
She's at San Diego State right now.
Oh, of course. She's going to be smarter than all of us.
Yeah, and then I've
Right?
got a son who's just, being a 19-year-old.
You got to be a 19-year-old.
You got to be a 19-year-old. So
Get that out of your system.
So I got 3 kids. Well, Angelique's a senior in high school, so I'm going to have buckets that need to get filled because I'm going to have 3 kids in college at the same time.
Right? So we're all going to collaborate.
Yeah.
We're going to fill your buckets up.
And so whenever you go to a room and there's a bunch of people, it's a smorgasbord, right?
Yeah.
And you can always take something from
I dig that.
some of the piles.
That's
so
right.
I took some notes today.
Oh, what can you take from my pile?
Well, I think we all, you four.
Insanity, number
you
one.
You four had a common.
Sinaloa cartel actions.
And we'll hit the dump button every now and then when you start talking.
I'll be the cleaner.
So anyway,
all right.
Collectively, from everybody,
Yeah.
educate, embrace change, execute, and expand.
Ooh, I like the execute. Just kidding.
Keep those four things consistent, and we're all in good shape. If you want to be
I love it.
an entrepreneur.
I love it. Will you text that to me?
Well,
You get a chance?
sure.
Because I'm going to stick it on the website.
It's not
That's badass. Let me
rocket
just
science.
put
I just stole it from all of you guys.
Get out of here. There it is, folks. You've seen it firsthand.
But
Okay.
my email address is Brian at CoachBrianMortgage.com.
That's a cool email, Coach. You can't mess that up.
Because I spend 90% of my day educating people.
Educating people. Of course you do. You're an educator.
I used to be.
Say what?
Yeah, I was a division.
Oh, you were a teacher. That's
Yeah, I was a
right. I
teacher
forgot.
Teacher for 16 years and a Division I college soccer coach.
It's perfect, isn't it, Mark? Perfect. You're a teacher. Now you get to teach other things that we're teaching here today.
Teaching's all about learning.
Teaching's all about learning. I love it, man. How do they get a hold of you, man?
Brian.
Your telephone number.
Oh, that?
Come on.
909
Okay.
227 1477 909 227
22. See?
1477.
Gosh, dang it. Something's going on. Steve-O.
Yes, sir.
Don't throw any twos at me. I'm going to be freaked out here.
No, I won't.
All right.
do that.
So, Peak Financial Solutions.
Peak Finance
The
Company.
loan.
Arranger.
I love this guy, man. How do they get a hold of you, man?
Best thing to do, go to my website, financialbrokers.net. That's financialbrokers, brokers is plural, .net. It'll have all our different programs. Another thing we're heavy into right now is mobile home financing. So if somebody is, we have people in our group, they were working at Costco for 15 years now.
I met her, that's right.
Yeah, and now they call her the mobile home queen.
She's
Flipping
definitely getting
mobile
a hat.
homes, and we can finance an end user with as little as 5% down in a park or on land. And the rates are good, and terms are 20 years, so it's a great opportunity for people who can't always afford a stick-built home in California. Well, maybe you can afford a mobile home in a park.
Let me tell you something. Some of those mobile homes kick ass. Have you
Yeah,
ever
they
been in
do.
one?
They're
I'm just
2,000
like-
square feet.
I'm just like, hello?
Yeah.
Right? Not bad, right? And if I want to take off, I'll just rip off the skirt and tow away. I'm good. I go anywhere.
Yeah, and the other thing we're big on is the private money sector. We finance a lot of fix and flips, buy and hold, houses that are not in lendable condition right now. Some have had fire damage. Some have been gutted. We've done a number of loans, for people who looking for financing, but the house is in bad condition, or my credit, I only have a 400 credit score, or numerous other reasons they're not showing any income. Well, we look at the equity in a property and the ability to make payments, and these are for business purpose only loans. So if somebody's an investor, they want to flip, or they want to buy and hold, or another type of strategy, then they should contact us, and we can probably help them with a solution. So again,
Steve, the website, the phone number, the email.
yes, so financialbrokers.net. It'll have a full list of all our disclosures and our licenses. If they want to call me directly, my number is 562-818-3502. That's area code 562-818-3502.
Can you do that in Espanol, Steve? Just kidding. You figure your girlfriend's what, Asian? She's Asian? She's an Asian lady?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't do it in Chinese yet?
Dump button. Dump button.
No,
I'm
she's
so disappointed
She
in you,
speaks
Steve.
Tagalog.
Tagalog. Whoa.
Yeah.
I can't even
My
speak
wife is
English
Filipino
properly.
too, Steve.
Really?
Yeah.
No
My wife is
way.
Filipino,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Oh, check it out. Mike's got one in the house.
And I'm going to the Philippines next year.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm going too.
Really? Come on.
Oh yeah.
Really? What are you going to do there?
I hear there's beautiful young ladies who
Oh,
like white
boy.
older
Here we
men.
go. Oh, Lord.
They're all over the place.
Hey, man, I
man.
love you guys. You guys are the best. I am Christopher Moss, the Energy Hour host of the podcast. Give my famous tongue. They think I'm Gene Simmons at times. Anyways, you guys are the best, man. Thanks a million, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm getting capes. I'm getting hats and crowns and
Helmets.
halos and helmets. It's coming. All right, guys. Mark, we're going to talk. Steve, pleasure as always. Mike, thank you so much for these bridge loan opportunities. And my bud, Brian, hey, we got to get your girl in the theaters, man. That's next, right?
You don't really like me. You just want.
I just want to see your
you
girl.
You just want to hang on the coattails.
That's right. I'm just a rogue, what do they call that? A rogue assailant? Yeah, you'll see me in the desert,
groupie.
everybody.
You're a
I'm a
groupie.
groupie. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Energy Hour podcast.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to qhiinc.com/TEO. That's qhiinc.com/TEO.
This podcast is brought to you by Aliva Digital Marketing, lead generation and SEO for local businesses. Increase your web presence with their Results in Advance strategy, including a video website audit and analysis for free. Listeners of this podcast can get 75% off Aliva's fees. But hurry, only the first 5 businesses that inquire can get this deal. Aliva Digital Marketing, a proud sponsor of this podcast. Online at alivadigital.com.
Capture the joyful magic of the holiday season with Virtual Santa. Virtual Santa is a high-definition projection effect that walks, waves, laughs, eats cookies, and puts presents under the tree. From outside, it's so real, you swear Santa's in your house. Virtual Santa, originally seen on ABC's The Great Christmas Light Fight. You can choose from traditional Virtual Santa or new African American Santa. Holiday effects include Virtual Santa, Mrs. Claus, Santa's Workshop with Christmas elves, and so much more. Buy one effect or a bundle. Available in HD DVD, digital download, or USB flash drive. Also available in LED projection bundles. For a winning Christmas display that will delight your neighbors young and old, visit us at virtualsanta.com and become known as the house where Santa lives. Virtual Santa, where holiday spirit begins.